since then, and then Danielle said it to me, which you had probably discussed with her, and then so on and so forth, was for someone who is alleging that they're willing to walk out on their own accord at any time, they don't want to be here, they don't need to be here, they're just doing it for the fun, and blah, 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 blah. He's trying awfully hard for someone who's claiming that, which is totally fucking shiesty.
And why would he make a $50,000 deal, whether it's legal in the game or not, if he didn't really give a shit about the money? Because he doesn't need it, and he's happy in his life, and so on and so forth. And he wants to push other people that he likes ahead in the game and help them. And if it came down to it, he would walk out the front door voluntarily to push Danielle ahead and blah, 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 and all this bullshit.
Good. Then go walk out the front door. I'll tell him that I'll protect Danielle.
He told you that too?
The fact that he even told me that line was a slap in my fucking face, because I just wanted to be like, how dumb do you think I am?
And not to mention the fact, how many times can we collectively state as a group that we do not appreciate people that are taking this for granted? So was that a good strategy
with Carol,
anyway?
Absolutely.
How many fucking times can this be said? So
Did
why
you notice
the hell
how I
would
pointed that out? I know I pointed this out after I pointed it out on the pedestal with Jen. You know, you say you don't need the money, blah, blah, blah. Dustin needs the money, Eric needs the money, and I think I named every single one of you guys off that they need the money. So their stories, him and Jen have the exact same fucking stories. And I totally think that they're together, and I know for a fucking fact that they're with Zach.
You know what?
He's with Zach in the
And
subline.
he, by the way, was the
For
brainiac.
sure,
According to
because-
Mike, Zach was the brainiac that got the group together, not Kale.
I heard that from Kale too.
It was Zach.
Yeah, that's because Zach is
It's only
aggressive
that he
and
got them
desperate.
together. It's not that he was the brains of the operation.
Well, yeah.
You know what? It's because Zach is desperate and aggressive.
Tell Jessica what how Zach approached you earlier.
Oh, God.
No.
Yeah. No, I was
It wasn't sexual harassment, don't worry.
No, I was just in the kitchen, and he was saying that, you know, he finds me to be a threat in the game. That he finds me to be, you know, a smart, intelligent player, and, you know, I should watch out if he's HOH, because he sees me as a threat. And I said, well, you know,
He told you should watch out.
yeah, like, well, what does that mean for me? He goes, well, you know, the alliance that I previously had is no longer, and I'm looking to team up with other smart players, the people that I find to be smart. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, well, let's talk tomorrow after the HOH competition. And he goes, no, we need to talk today. Because depending on where the power lies, if it lies within me, you're too late. Okay.
That got me again this time. The second time I've heard this today, and the second time I think to myself, how is someone with so little clout
Like,
in
were you
the
gonna
house
throw it
right
out?
now get off saying something like that?
You're too late.
Here's one thing, though.
What do you want it for?
I don't
For
know.
my perm
Hey,
bank.
You can borrow
I
it.
want everybody to listen to this.
I'm sorry.
Do you remember when you and I were laying on the hammock? Jamaica, this was right after you got up. Jen came back over, and she said something about the way that Nick had been treating her, and she goes, oh yeah, I was laying over here on the hammock, and...
Oh, no, that was nothing. That was, she was just saying about how Nick came over and woke her up.
Well, but wait, she came over because she literally stopped like a truck on the freeway. She goes, well, because Nick and I have been speaking a lot lately about useless information. Who drops like that?
She didn't say that.
Yes, she did.
She said, me and Nick haven't been speaking lately, and when he came over and woke me up, it was useless information.
No, she said, we have been talking about things, useless information. I mean, it was a little, there was a dead stop. There was a dead stop
So
in the
what's your
conversation.
interpretation of that, though?
Why would she stop in the middle of saying something and say useless information?
She was saying she was woken up by Nick in the hammock with useless information. I clearly remember, I'm 110% that was strictly her saying, you know, me and Nick haven't talked, and then he comes over the hammock, wakes me up with useless information, just like that. It wasn't it was two completely different sentences, and I remember, because I was watching her, because I know.
How does everybody here, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, I just want to interject. How does everyone here feel about Jen? Jen was the target a couple weeks ago.
But that was only because she was so irritating and annoying. I don't
still
think it
is.
was
We're just
legitimate,
getting
but
used
even
to it?
still, yeah. I mean, personally, I am.
But you don't think that she's a threat?
I
She's a tough
absolutely do.
competitor.
I
She's very
absolutely
smart.
do.
She has memorized all of the shit when you guys were playing that game. Don't forget. There's
I keep
63 squares on the sliding glass door.
You know what, though? For everyone who's spending their time doing that, there is, if even, one total competition per season about that stuff. So, whoop-de-doo. For everyone who wants to spend 8 hours a week studying these things, then that's great. For that one competition, let's, good for them or whatever.
And that could be advantageous, though.
It's one thing. One thing of the entire season.
I think that Jen is a strong competitor.
I absolutely agree.
But this is my whole thing with that. She's not, let's be honest, she's not going to be one of those people that you're going to put up in the beginning or,